let's talk about the Avengers. Yes! I'm so excited that I finally got to see this film. I've seen it a couple times with a couple different audiences and a couple different kind of scenarios. First time I saw it, it was at the end of the Marvel movie marathon. It was held by AMC Theaters, and I went and did the whole thing and watched the midnight showing with that group of people. It was a really amazing experience, but I'm not going to talk about it in this review because that's like a whole nother video, a whole nother time and place. But that was my first experience seeing the film. Everyone and their grandma seemed to be seeing this movie before the actual release date back on Friday. I think there just was a lot of screenings for it. It had already come out in Europe, so I was getting a lot of feedback already, and people were digging the crap out of this movie across the board. And I just made sure I worked really hard to not bring my expectation up extremely high, because we all know that if you pump up your expectation to a huge degree, that you could end up disappointed. So Joss Whedon, wow. Give it up for Joss Whedon, everybody. I don't know what else to say. Joss Whedon, you took my heart and my soul. Some critics and other moviegoers, whoever, I feel are going to walk out of the movie with the sophistication level not really hitting them at first. I feel like some people will be a little on the side of, oh, it's just real popcorn movie-ish and real like shallow type of movie territory with explosions and fighting and things like that. But I don't agree with that at all. I really don't agree with that. I think there is a definite depth to this film and a sophistication to the humor and the direction and a variety of things. The movie script is like banging. This movie has such a good script. Such a good script. The humor like blew my mind. Not only is it like a constant flow of really memorable one-liners, and references were like a huge thing in this movie, like cultural references, references to other things within the Marvel universe, and just general knowledge types of references, things that a variety of people could understand and relate to. Going into this film, I really wasn't sure what to expect in terms of like my emotional reaction. I kept thinking to myself, am I gonna laugh a lot? Am I gonna cry a lot? What's gonna happen in that whole area? Every audience I've been in so far has been in hysterics through most of it, totally just getting such a kick out of it. But I got goosebumps a lot. But the main thing, this is gonna sound so corny, and I probably shouldn't even be admitting this, besides like the straight up tearjerker moment that occurs, I got like teary-eyed and a little bit emotional, was the fact that when at least one moment hit where it was just a really well done cinematic moment with the music and what was going on in the story or whatever, kind of thought in my mind that was, I really wish superheroes were real. And like, it was so corny. I was really into the movie at the time, obviously, and when I kind of got shaken out of it for a second, I just stopped for a minute and I just thought, well, that's what this movie just did for me. It's supposed to be like an ultimate superhero coming together of superheroes. I mean, isn't that the whole point of this film, is to make people feel that way? So anyway, that was kind of my pinpointed emotional response. So I wanted to talk about the music for a second, because I don't want to forget to talk about it, and I noticed something really cool, but I only noticed it with Captain America, I guess because I just was more familiar with his theme music. The Avengers has a really great score on its own. Like, it's scored really well. Like, S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of has their own theme, but like when Captain America is in a moment where you're kind of just seeing him doing his thing, they incorporate his theme from Captain America, the first Avenger film, like into the Avengers music. I was so impressed by that. I mean, when I noticed it the first time, I was like, did they just do that? Like, that was really well done. So if I had to sum this whole thing up in one word, it would be fun. This is a fun movie. It puts smiles on people's faces, and that makes me happy. I had nothing to do with the making of this movie. I had nothing to do with Joss Whedon or any of the people involved, but I have to say that just from one human being to another, when you're in a movie theater and you hear the laughter, I mean, some people are rolling in this movie, seriously. And the great thing too is when you hear like the people who get the joke right away, and then how like it trickles through the audience, the laughter, based on who got the joke right away and who, like, it took them a second to get it. So it was like a trickling effect of laughter throughout the theater, and it happened so many times throughout the movie, which is such a fun aspect of it. When you look around at the audience and the other audience members, everyone just has a smile on their face and just seems like they just had a really good time. And that's what this summer needs. I mean, that's what the world needs, is movies like this. Fun, entertainment, they're a spectacle, but they're intelligent. In my eyes, there's no excuse for a lack of intelligence in film. I do not like that. I do not, no matter how big a visual spectacle a movie is, no matter how good the special effects are, no matter how brilliant and gorgeous it is, no matter how good the costumes are, which I'm a big costume person, and no matter how good they are, if there's not intelligence in the movie, if there's not heart and soul to the movie, if the person that wrote it and directed it and the people who are acting in it aren't feeling the material and aren't all going for the same goal and making this work with a certain level of sophistication and love and passion, not like movies that don't have that. I do not take kindly to it, no matter how good the visual stuff is. So that's, I think, the main reason why I was so happy with this movie. So I'm going to give The Avengers a 10 out of 10. To get a 10 out of 10 in my mind, it's going to be a movie. I have like a little list of criteria in my mind. One of them is, do I want to go see this movie as many times as I can afford to or can in the theater when it's out? Yes, absolutely. I want to go back as many times as I can. Number two, am I going to run to the store and buy it as soon as it comes out on DVD? Absolutely. And then when I have a DVD, am I going to want to watch this movie over and over again for many years to come? I can't sit here right now and say this is one of my favorite movies of all time, because that's a big statement for me, because I'm so attached to the movies that are currently my favorite. So I can't sit there and say that yet. I've never been able to do that when I've just seen a movie. It's just too fresh in my mind, this film. But it has all the potential to be one of my favorite movies, and that's all I need to give it a 10 out of 10 is the potential. If you like this review today, you'd like to see more of my reviews in the future, then please subscribe to this channel and check out my other reviews. And thank you so much for watching me geek out and freak out over The Avengers.